Good day. We are gonna tackle about the effect of online learning on communication between instructors and students during COVID-19 pandemic by Muhammad Alawamli, Lana Muhammad Altwait, and Graham Rafat Alsat. Introduction. Communication, especially in the education sectors, needs to be studied as communication between instructors and students has the ability to improve the learning experience and to create a positive setup. Effective communication is a process of exchanging ideas, thoughts, knowledge, and information in such a way as to fulfill the purpose or intent in the best possible way. Communicating with students in an online environment requires a little more thought and planning than communicating with students in the traditional environment because the online environment lacks body language. Knowledge of communication weaknesses with online environments can help them decide how to establish timely and appropriate communications and how to interact effectively with their online students. Objectives. This study aims to explore whether online learning has an effect on communication between instructors and students in a negative way, if online learning during COVID-19 pandemic affects students' productivity levels, to evaluate and suggest ways of improving effective communication between instructors and students of AUM in online courses. Methodology. This study is a quantitative research study through semi-structured survey which was conducted online due to the pandemic. A descriptive research design is applied by using the semi-structured online survey for the purpose of collecting data on the effect of online learning on communication. Regarding a sampling technique, the research used probabilistic sampling, given that positivism is concerned with reducing bias as much as possible. Probability-based sampling approach was deemed the most appropriate. Moreover, the specific sampling technique used was simple random sampling, which means in every item of the population has equal probability of being chosen.
Here is the result of the study. In figure 1, out of 133 students, 14.8% was very satisfied, 33.1% were satisfied, 29.3% were neutral, 17.3% were unsatisfied, and 6.0% were very unsatisfied. In figure 2, the majority of students who answered the survey were satisfied of a total of 33.1%, followed by 78.2% preferred classroom classes and 21.8% preferred online classes. In figure 3, 36.8%, but it has not changed. 51.9% has gotten worse and 11.3% answered with it has improved. In figure 4, the majority of the students answered the survey on their understanding on the course material has gotten worse with a total of 51.9%, followed by 38.3% voted yes and 61.7% voted no. And to follow that, in figure 5, 37.6% voted yes and 62.4% voted no, and followed by majority of the students who answered the survey voted no with a total of 62.4%. In figure 6, 71.4% voted yes and 28.6% voted no. Here is the discussion of the study. To begin with, while some students were satisfied with taking their courses online, however, the majority still prefer taking their classes in classroom instead. Half of the students also explained that their understanding of the material being tough online has gotten worse, while with a percentage this corroborates with a study conducted by Brown and Lydholm. To evaluate the student learning outcomes in an online course, they found that the students in the online format of the course performed substantially worse on tests than students in the conventional format of that same course. Second, majority of students agree that online learning have a negative impact on communication between instructors and students, and the majority agree that interacting with their teachers have become harder as well. Students reported feeling disconnected with their instructors, the course content, and their fellow classmates. Lastly, a large number of students feel more isolated now that they are talking taking rather their classes online. This goes with McConnell, who revealed that a huge problem with online learning was that students feel more isolated, dominated by others, and anxious about presenting their ideas publicly. Here is the conclusion of the study. To summarize, the study aimed to explore whether online learning has an effect on communication between instructors and students in a negative way. The majority still prefer classroom classes over online classes due to the many problems that they face when taking online classes, some which include their lack of motivation and understanding of the material, the decrease in communication levels between the students and their instructors, and their increased feeling of isolation caused by online classes. This study found that online learning indeed has a negative impact on communication and its effectiveness between instructors and students. Here is the recommendations of the study. In web-based learning, it is necessary to build opportunities for interactions and communication between students and their instructors. We recommend and encourage that instructors try their best to keep in touch with their students through online office hours, as well as reach out to each student in their class individually if there is a sudden decrease in performance. Instructors should encourage students to participate and study more by providing incentives. At the end of the day, every student wants to gain good grades, and without the motivation for it is hard to achieve. This can be fulfilled by giving extra marks through short quizzes.